25 best PS3 strategy games.
Player.
Number 25. Rainbow Moon. This game isn't for everyone. Grinding is a laborious process, and that platinum trophy is going to be a hardcore challenge beyond the patience of almost anyone. But for its small niche, it's endlessly charming and cheerful, and there's literally over 100 hours of content here. Number 24. Under Siege. Under Siege is a content-rich package, and with an accessible RTS system, fun multiplayer, and the option of creating your own levels, there is a generous amount of game here for RTS fans with the skills to make it through. Number 23. Vandal Hearts Flames of Judgment. Ultimately, it is only the tactics RPG fans that are going to get anything out of this. Vandal Hearts doesn't have the basic accessibility of a Final Fantasy Tactics game, but it isn't the kind of hardcore game either. It sits somewhere in the middle, and it's good value for people who have just started out on this unique genre. Number 22. Eufloria. This is a great port and one of the better examples of an RTS working on a console, though the simplicity will turn some players away. If you don't go into Eufloria expecting a deep or complex RTS, you will have a good time with it, provided you can look past some spikes in difficulty. Number 21. Savage Moon. Apart from its single-player campaign, Savage Moon features a challenge mode that sees you take on a never-ending wave of enemies to see how long you can survive. The game packs in a decent amount of entertainment, but it doesn't do quite enough to make it recommendable for anyone who isn't already a fan of the tower defense genre.
Begin duel.
Number 20. The Eye of Judgment. The Eye of Judgment is certainly an interesting curiosity designed to appeal to a niche audience, but it is not without its flaws, though admittedly most of our frustrations stem from the camera. However, when the Eye of Judgment works, we will have a great deal of fun battling for the title of Resident Overlord. Number 19. Guardians of Middle-earth. This game deserves props for doing such a great job in taking the League of Legends formula and adapting it for the console audience. This is a greatly enjoyable game and a very easy recommendation for people who like the Lord of the Rings license or multiplayer competitive games.
Shrine control.
I need healing.
Number 18. R.U.S.E. Every game follows a unique path, requiring lots of smart recon and using ruses to fool your enemy. If you can look past the weakness, you'll find R.U.S.E. to be a fun and occasionally intense real-time strategy game that's just unusual enough to catch your imagination.
Building deployment completed.
First blood.
Number 17. Worms. The challenges can be tough, the multiplayer is fun, and the ability to create a team and name its members is an awesome way to get you to care about your squad. Sure, Worms is fun, but only the hardcore turn-based strategy fans will find themselves playing this over and over.
Surprise!
Nothing short of excellent.
Number 16. Worms 2 Armageddon. This game is a really solid addition to the Worms franchise. It's certainly a game that can be enjoyed both as a party game and even single player. Keep in mind though that it's a simple game to pick up, but a tough one to master.
Seconds later, the action was still lame.
Construction complete.
Number 15. Command & Conquer Red Alert 3. Red Alert 3 is one of those wildly enjoyable and outrageously campy games that make this a good time for anyone looking for a real-time strategy game for their PS3. A few annoying issues aside, the fun campaigns, video sequences and numerous options does make this an impressive console version.
Construction complete. Construction
Guys
complete.
are looking good. Found some.
Number 14. Disgaea D2 A Brighter Darkness. Another niche title to add to the wishlist, Disgaea D2 A Brighter Darkness offers a captivating and challenging gameplay, as well as a great sense of humor. With a 25-hour main storyline and a 9,999 level cap, SRPG enthusiasts will find plenty to keep them busy.
Do I have to go?
Number 13. Tom Clancy's EndWar. EndWar's unique voice command mechanic makes it wholly unique among strategy games, and it's this innovation that stands out above all of its other features. Strip it away and you'll find an RTS game that can be fun and satisfying, but is ultimately just a bit too simplistic.
Hostile forces attacking from the northeast and northwest.
Number 12. Grid Corp. If you fancy yourself a strategy game hit, you'll probably get into Grid Corp almost instantly. Other more casual players will require a few hours to get to grips with the game, but it's worth the endeavor. The multiplayer is fantastic and the single player is pretty decent too. Number 11. From Dust. If you have always wanted to try a simulator, From Dust is the perfect game. It doesn't have complicated controls or any of the hassles that plague other simulations. It's about atmosphere, gameplay, and having fun. When you come right down to it, that is what gaming is about.
Go ahead and select.
Number 10. Anomaly Warzone Earth. Anomaly Warzone Earth certainly brings a refreshing splash to the tower defense genre by taking what we've already experienced in the genre and making gamers play the role of attacker rather than defender. With that said, this game should provide a lot of fun for those hoping to get something new out of this well-established genre. Number 9. Disgaea 3 Absence of Justice. Fans of the series will enjoy its self-referential humor and solid gameplay, though newcomers will likely find the often poorly explained combat system incredibly complicated. But if you've got the time and the patience to figure it all out, you'll find an incredibly deep and rewarding game that will keep you hooked for hours. Number 8. Fat Princess. The goofy situations and ridiculous premise do a good job of making this game fun. And even though it has a few problems, as long as you have friends to play with and a penchant for a gleefully bloody competition, it's a lot of fun.
The enemy have captured an outpost. The enemy have captured an outpost.
Number 7. Disgaea 4, A Promise Unforgotten. In the end, Disgaea 4 is simply the finest expression of everything that the Disgaea series is. It has a fun story with memorable characters, an excellent battle system, and hundreds of hours of optional content. Also, it is well balanced for the most part despite a difficulty spike in the final chapter of the game. Number 6. Swords and Soldiers. Swords and Soldiers is an extremely humorous game, and playing through each of the 3 stories is addictive and filled to the brim with interesting storylines, plot twists, and bizarre characters. Even in a vastly populated genre, Ronimo Games has created an innovative and exciting tower defense game that is entertaining and will lead to many hours of satisfying gameplay. Number 5. Comet Crash. There is a balance between offense and defense that is just superb, constantly forcing you to bounce between the two in order to smite your enemy. The hectic multiplayer mode can border on sheer chaos, but the cunning strategies needed to defeat opponents are immensely rewarding. Comet Crash is intense, strategic, and fun, and it's a step forward for tower defense games. Number 4. PixelJunk Monsters. A second player can grab a controller and join you on the same machine. Co-op play does reduce this challenge, but it's also a blast to strategize with a friend. Yet whether or not a buddy joins you, you'll probably have a lot of fun with PixelJunk Monsters. Number 3. Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution. Played against human or AI opponents, Civilization Revolution is an excellent game that will let you plumb different strategic depths each time you play. It's incredibly easy to get engrossed in it, and you can happily lose hours and hours at a time. If you haven't played a Civilization game before, you should get your hands on this one. Number 2. XCOM Enemy Unknown. XCOM Enemy Unknown is a wonderful and worth it strategy game with a layer of campy charm that makes the stone-faced seriousness of the game's characters all the more endearing. It's also remarkably accessible, thanks to a great interface that feels comfortable whether you're using a keyboard and mouse or have a controller in your hand. Number 1. Valkyria Chronicles. In a game as smart and delightful as Valkyria Chronicles, it's easy to look past the issues and take comfort in its fun and intelligent take on a genre that has plenty of room to grow. And while it is a fantastic new step forward for strategy RPGs, it's also a lovely and enjoyable game in its own right.